Omar Aigbedion joining us on the program here. He's one of the offensive linemen for the Baylor Bears. Did I get that last name right then? Oh, hold on. Let me turn you on here. Okay, now.
Hello.
Did I nail it? Am I feeling okay?
Yes,
okay.
You said it perfectly.
We have a lot of players coming through here, and the pronunciation guides sometimes aren't right there. But thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Did you feel the same way? Like Sawyer comes in and BYU got off to a quick start in that game down in Waco. Mm-hmm. The second half got really, really close. I know BYU fans were nervous about how that thing was going to be coming around.
I honestly, I don't even think we needed 2 extra minutes. I really think because, at the end of the fourth quarter, we had the ball 2 times and a chance to score with the extra point and take the lead, to go up, what would it be, 35-34, I believe.
You got a good memory. I can barely remember any of these things.
Quite a while ago. But, if we could have just scored in one of those 2 drives, our defense did a heck of a job, getting them to stop even after we didn't score the first time and getting us the ball back. But, in the game of football, things don't always go your way. But that game was definitely a learning experience. And, after that game, I would definitely say that second half was a turning point. But really going into the bye week and, really reflecting on what we've done so far this season and or what we did so far that season. And, I think that was the start of it.
I could tell Omar and I would be best friends if we were teammates, so I got a question for you, Omar.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no on this burger? This is a double cheeseburger, and it's layered with peanut butter and jam, and then and then it's and then it's 2 glazed donuts as the buns.
All right.
So glazed donuts, peanut butter and jam, and then it's a double cheese.
Where is this from?
Cheese is
this at the lunch buffet over here?
No,
just at the stadium? Dang.
This is actually at a restaurant I'm looking at going to.
This burger looks really good. The thing about it, I don't think I could eat a full burger of this. The peanut butter jelly with the cheese, that kind of just throws me off a little bit.
It's going to get thick.
But the thing, I would definitely try this burger for sure.
Maybe you go.
I definitely try it.
He's like, I might not get through the whole thing until he takes the first bite.
First bite, I'm like,
it works.
Give it here.
PK, look
Hold on, I'm gonna see. I gotta see this thing. And you're considering going to this place tonight?
Yeah,
I might get to 310, Omar.
Imagine trying to DoorDash that thing. It would show up as a soup.
Oh,
dude, like that would not make it to the hotel
not
room.
making it.
I don't know. I think this thing is right up my alley. I think I'd really enjoy this.
See, this kind of game prep. This is the kind of show prep and game prep that we need more of at a show like this. That is an insane picture. You better freaking tweet that thing out.
That's a beautiful burger.
I'm gonna retweet this.
That is one beautiful burger.
Hey, one thing that I really envy you guys, and in the years ago that I played, they hardly fed us. They feed you good now in college football. Don't
yes,
they?
yes. They feed us amazing. I can only speak for Baylor. But, we have something called the bank where all of our student athletes eat. They obviously, cater in food for us, bring it in. But, most of the time we eat at the bank. And our chefs and our staff in there just do such a good job getting us fed. And, they pretty much, alter the menu to what the athletes like. So, I love the work they do there.
See, I love when you get a guy on, too, that they're not going, hey, now listen, we're gonna need you to take some pounds off. Hey, we're going to need you to add some more pounds. It's like, look, get me into the bank and let me just go to town here and start creating some stuff.
Well, do you either make a deposit or withdrawal? Depends.
The deposit's
when you go to the bank.
Yeah. Omar, this team took that step. Give me an idea of what flipped switch-wise for Sawyer Robertson when he took over for DeQuan Finn last year, and he started to really come into his own.
Right.
Why did he have so much success? Like, what clicked for him, do you think, and what clicked for you guys as an offense?
The thing about Sawyer, I've heard him say this multiple times, but I've seen it as well. He always prepared the same. He always was preparing like he was going to be the starting quarterback, even when he found out that wasn't his role. And he never. It's easy to say, like, when you're not a starter, it's easy to look down or not be that good of a team player. But him, he was always the same guy. So when it was his time to play, he was ready because he was doing all that preparation. And I can't even quite remember the question, but.
No, you about nailed it. I mean, It was just really about how that offense started clicking because obviously the defense started playing a lot better. The offense started playing a lot better.
Well, look at the scores. They put up 59 on Texas Tech, 38 on Oklahoma State, 37 on TCU, 49 on West Virginia, 45 on Kansas.
Yeah.
This offense went bonkers to finish out the season.
Right. And, I think that just, goes into us all really, really buying into Coach Bab's scheme and, really believing in each other. Starting the season off, we had a lot of new guys coming in and a lot of new positions, guys who haven't really played together. And, throughout that season, we were able to, mesh together as a team and really buy into what we're trying to do.
Do you think that we'll know a lot about this team right out of the chute because you got Auburn at SMU, Sanford, a lower level you should win, and then your first conference game is at home to ASU.
Right.
So 3 of the 4, man, my gosh, before we even get to the end of September, we ought to have a good idea where Baylor stands.
100%, and that's the way we're preparing this year. We know what kind of challenge we have at the beginning of our schedule. But, that's what great teams want. Great teams want to play great teams, and they want to play great competition. And, I'm super excited because our unit's working very hard because we know who we have at the beginning games. And, throughout the whole season, bro, this is a team that has high expectations and high expectations for itself. So playing good teams will get us those results we need.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Fall camp here in a couple weeks, you guys are getting going, all right? And you're lined up. What position? What side and what position?
Right now for Baylor, I start at right guard.
Okay, so I'm going to put you at right guard.
Right.
Okay. I'm calling just a left side counter.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull you.
Right.
And you're eyeing Keaton Thomas, and Keaton Thomas is your next level approach.
Right.
How are you going after Keaton on that pull?
The thing about Keaton, every play he brings it. So if I'm pulling around to hit Keaton, I'm gonna have to bring it as well. So I'm gonna.
Are you walling him? Are you angle blocking? Are you going low? Are you gonna try to take on the chest?
I'm gonna try to fit him inside out. You know what I mean? So if I'm pulling left, I'm gonna hit him with the left shoulder. But try to stay inside out. Hopefully have some low pad level and bring some aggression and physical nature to it because that's what he brings.
Because he brings some power, doesn't he?
Yes, sir.
He's good. That's kind of teammate you need.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Just keep going on that because Hans is salivating right now. We keep this talk going.
Okay, so
we get this stuff. I love it.
Now we're just working on a downside combo off the play side, and I'm the center, you're the guard, and we got a combo. We'll do a minus technique up to Keaton. How are we working this?
I'm gonna have the center use a lift technique. Basically, I'd say if it's a zero nose, I have him reset his feet and lift with double hand lift, and then how I would like to do it is have the guard, kind of have a read there. If he's gonna have like a one-step read, so I don't know who's listening if they're too familiar with offensive line technique, but they got something called a stair step. I would have him take his first stair step and read the hip of the nose. If that nose were to slant away, I would have him bumper back and take the double team vertical.
I love it.
But if the nose were to fit with him or come towards him, then I have him fit it up with the center and take it vertical to keep.
I'm bathing in this.
I was going to say this.
I'm bathing in it.
I'm saying, huh?
You've made his day.
It just feels so good.
You have freaking made his day.
Last thing, you pass set.
Right.
D tackle hits you chest high. He goes to a bull rush. Do you hop or do you step?
Personally, my coach teaches both, but I'm a big step guy. I feel like if you hop, both feet are in the air. I just don't like it. I see it happen. Some people do it in the pros, but it's just that just hasn't been something I've been super fond of.
Pretty prevalent in the pros.
Right. Yeah. I think so far I've been strong enough to take bull rushes by walking back. Maybe there'll be a day where I'm not, and I'll have to transition to the hop. But right now I'm walking back.
I love it.
Omar, that was phenomenal.
What about you, Alex? Hop or bowl?
I can't have. Well, first of all, neither. Both feet can't leave the ground at the same time for me.
So you're walking like me. You're walking back like me.
I feel really small right now.
It's not going to be that. That's the thing is that you always tell people as soon as they leave their feet, right, the power kind of leaves a little bit. And I know that's but you got to be an ultra athlete,
right?
To those NFL guys.
Well, the idea behind the hop is you relieve pressure off both feet, but then both feet repost.
Yeah.
So then
that's a big anchor.
When I get a petty, it relieves pressure off both feet. Exactly.
That's bunion removal. That's not pedicure.
When I sit back and she, files my nails, it's the same thing.
Major pain relief. I like that.
Omar, that's been phenomenal. Best of luck this year. We're looking forward to. I think you guys are. Coming out to Salt Lake, and when you take on the Utes. No. Sorry, they go down to Waco again. So yeah, Utah, because you guys were out in Salt Lake last year, and you don't have to face BYU this year. Although I would have loved to have seen that rematch as well. So best of luck to you this season, and just keep some of those tips in your mind that Hans gave you today.
Go do great things, Omar.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me on here, and then when I leave, I'll definitely take a look into that burger again.